All right, people. Who would have thought that a police force is better utilized catching criminals than catching those who write mean things on social media? Well, as it turns out, the UK has finally worked that out. Have a look at this. I actually had to double check it because I thought surely this is not true. Non-crime hate incidents officially scrapped as police told to catch criminals rather than investigate tweets. I gotta watch this. See, while we were scratching our heads and saying, like, what the hell is going on? Seriously, how many resources are being wasted? And we've quoted this stat many times before. Get a load of this. The UK has arrested more people than Russia, China, and Iran combined in the last 3 or 4 years. The UK became the arrest capital of the world. Yeah, sure, they will let them go later on, but people were getting cited for saying something mean on Twitter. Real people were genuinely worried that if I say something, am I going to get arrested? And I was worried that this is going to happen in Australia as well. To be honest, I've been expecting a knock on my door. I've said it many times before. But have a look at this. There were woke people in the bureaucracy or at Met Police who were debating how to tackle online hate. I know exactly the kind of conversations in those meeting rooms. What should we do if someone calls someone a fatty, for example? Look, I don't think we are a society that body shames people or causes anxiety to some people. So therefore, you know what? We're going to go and arrest them. All right, that's it. Good meeting. Off you go. That's how those meetings would have gone. Some people in the bureaucracy literally thought that it's a good idea to waste police resources when your capital has become the stabbing capital of the world, i.e. London. But instead of focusing on that, instead of catching stabbers and violent criminals, go and grab grannies and mothers and old pensioners for saying mean things on social media. They should not be allowed to just quietly scrap this program. They should ask some tough questions because this decision has had a cultural impact on our society. After this decision by the Met Police, how many people actually worried about getting arrested and not expressing their opinion, which is their fundamental right? It's the most basic right of every citizen of the free world. All of our Western democracies, people have free speech. People had trust in institutions that their free speech will be respected. I know there are subtle differences. American free speech is protected by the Constitution. This is also something I learned very recently, that even Australia, you don't have a right to free speech, but the state will give it to you. We didn't know that distinction. How many people started worrying that if I say something, I will get arrested? I don't think this is a laughing matter. And let's see what Patrick Christie's is saying.
Crime hate to be scrapped. Incidents branded a threat to free speech will be replaced by a common sense approach. So non-crime hate incidents are going to be scrapped under plans that police chiefs will present to the Home Secretary next month. This seems like a good thing. So this is where, like, it's hurty words, isn't it? Basically, you're not going to be prosecuted for hurty words, Chloe.
Yeah, I mean, this sounds like a great idea. I hope that this goes ahead. As they say, this is being presented to the Home Secretary. I really hope that the Home Secretary does approve this because,
I want to know who is the person who first gave the directive to the police that go and arrest people who put mean tweets up. Mean tweets. I'm not talking about violent tweets where there was a hint of violence. Ordinary people. If I find the video, I'll attach it. There was an American woman living in Britain. She was visited by a police officer and he said, no, you're not doing anything illegal, but it would be nice if you apologize to the victim. And that lady was an American. She understands her free speech. She's like, nope, I ain't doing it. But I think she was cited. She was given a fine or something. I don't know what happened to her.
You can come in, but you better have a damn good reason for being here. I'm a member of the Free Speech Union, and I'm an American citizen. I'll have Elon Musk on you so quick your feet won't touch.
Something that we believe you've written on Facebook has upset someone.
You're here because somebody got upset. Is it against the law? Am I being arrested?
You're not being arrested.
Then what are you doing here?
My plan was, if you were admitting that it was you who wrote the comment, you could just make an apology to the person.
I'm not apologizing to anybody, I can tell you that.
The alternative would be that I have to call you for an interview. I'm here to talk to you about the allegation. They've reported it to the police.
So what?
Obviously, we get a lot of reports like that.
Are there no houses that have been burgled recently? No rapes, no murders?
Yeah, that's all going on as well. That's been
Well, then why aren't you out there doing, investigating those?
Because I've got to investigate everything that gets reported.
Well, you're not investigating houses being burgled.
No, that's not my job today. I'd like to have a look at the comment that I'm...
I don't need to. I know exactly the things I've said. You know how many people in this neighborhood have been broken into?
I don't look after this neighbourhood.
No, of course you don't, unless there's a tweet, then you do. So what? I haven't broken any laws. So you're going to be wasting your time when you can be, instead, doing things that are more important.
That's why I wanted to just come to you directly, have a chat about it.
No. You should not be doing this. I'm a cancer patient. You can see that because I'm bald.
I didn't know that before I came, but it doesn't change anything. You still can't break laws. If you haven't broken a law, then nothing happens.
Well, you know whether I've broken a law. You can judge for yourself before you even show up at my door. The public knows what you guys are doing. We know what's going on in this country. Why don't you do that? Get on to them and tell them to apologize to me, a cancer patient, a woman living on her own, who has never broken a law in her life, by the way, ever. An older woman, you tell them, I'm an elderly woman, I'm a cancer patient.
I may have to come back and arrange an interview then.
Well, you can arrange it, but I'm going to tell you the same damn things that I'm telling you now. Next time, I'm going to have a free speech union lawyer with me.
Who did this? Who gave the directive? That's what I want to know. And I want to know how the conversation went. I would love to see the minutes of that meeting.
It's just a total waste of police resources and really horrendous for people who often have this, say, come up, for example. They often don't know that an NCHI has been recorded against them, and then they go for a job and it comes up on their DBS check, which is a pretty embarrassing thing to have and can stop you from getting a job. But I do hope that this isn't too good to be true, because the Met Police said back in October they were going to scrap them, but what they actually meant was they're going to scrap investigating them, but they'll still just record them without telling people, without properly investigating them. So on the day that they said they were scrapping it, they recorded 57.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And I think one of the problems with all these is the arbitrary nature. Some people can say one thing in one part of the country and it's fine, it should be fine. And another part of the country, the police force consider this non-crime and hate. And therefore, it's completely, where you stand in different parts of the country. People don't, and it's good news. We've heard this before.
I think non-crime incidents being recorded is inescapably a bit dubious because, by definition, they're not crimes. And yet, at the same time, actual hate crimes are incredibly difficult to get convictions on. They often have to be an antagonising factor to another thing. So just the abuse doesn't count unless it's racist or religious-based. Everything else isn't a crime in isolation. And
But why racism and religion too? Why? Help the public grow a thicker skin. Just imagine having an anxiety attack just because someone just wrote you a mean tweet. I get hundreds of mean tweets every day, and I actually respond in kind as well. That's good for my mental sanity. But that's it. I never think about going to the cops. But hey, he called me this, he called me that. How old are you, 10? Pathetic.
managed to get a conviction along those lines against someone who threatened to stab me for being gay. I have no idea how they worked it out, but they did. It was really hard to get to that stage. And so, I don't think it should undermine when people are utterly disgusting to strangers that it's not easy for them to face consequences.
Yeah, anyway, as she said, I hope it's real. They actually mean they're going to scrap the whole thing. But it shouldn't just be swept under the carpet. That's my point. Because someone took a really drastic turn from one day, everything's okay, people are calling each other mean things, as they always have. Even the ancient Romans used to write graffiti saying mean things about their friends or family members or political leaders. The walls of ancient Rome were there, Twitter and Facebook. So it's a part of human nature. People were doing that, and then one day, some bureaucratic pen pusher said, you know what? Let's start arresting them. I don't think this should be swept under the carpet that easily. Those people who did this should be made to resign.